Assalamu alaikum, peace and blessings be upon you. My name is Brother Hamza Abdullah, and this is Hamza's Huddle. Hamza's Huddle is the book club that I started, God willing, with the intentions to gain knowledge, build knowledge, learn from individuals and from books, um, and just to better myself and hopefully better those around me. This week we're reading, or this month we're reading Have Black Lives Ever Mattered by Mumia Abu Jamal. Uh, Last week, this past week, we broke it into three sections, and we read from page 1, the introduction, all the way to the 24th essay titled Geronimo, page 79, and just wanted to give you guys a recap of what I felt was important or what stood out for me. Just reading the first few essays, it got me emotionally charged. I'd be lying if I said I didn't feel some type of way in my chest while reading these things. These number of black people just being persecuted and at the hands of the law, the people who are supposed to protect and serve. You got guys like Oscar Grant, Amadou Diallo, the Central Park Five, Mike Ellerby. It was very tough to read, but imagine being that family and still searching and seeking justice. So for me, uh, it came down to one thing, and I believe if you ask Colin Kaepernick, if you had to describe or use one word as to why you took the knee, what word would it be? And I think he would say impunity, because right now, uh, cops are getting away with killing people and they're not being charged. And I feel as though the discussion is distracted. Because they'll say that, hey, this guy feel fear for his life. You do the same thing if you were in that same situation. If it was dark and you didn't know what this guy had in his hands and you fear for your life, you heard a sound, so you just shot. That's not the discussion that I feel needs to happen, and I'm sure many other people don't. The discussion that needs to happen is that once it is found that that person didn't have any weapons and you killed this person, then you should be, that's when justice comes in. That's when you should have to stand before a jury of your peers, and you have to answer for what you've done. And what's happening right now is that police officers are getting off, and they're getting paid leave, and they're not being judged accordingly for the actions that they're committing. So impunity is the word for this week. So moving forward, I feel the discussion has to be about the system that is in place, the system that allows for murder to, to go uncharged, for these executions um, to continue to go on. And in one of the essays, the brother Mumia talked about Oscar Grant, and he put together a scenario. He said, well, what if the tables were turned? What if it was the other shoe? What if Oscar Grant was the one who shot um, the transit police? Would he walk away free? The answer is no. We all know that. He would have died on the scene. The cops, as soon as they got there, they would have shot him. And that's the problem. Is there's one law for this color and the other law for this color. So the system is not broken. It's doing exactly what it was put in place for. So that means we need a new system. And you think about it, the laws that are being enforced right now, when they originated, who was in the room? What type of people were in the room creating these laws? There was no one that looked like me. There was no one that looked like Oscar Grant. There was no one that looked like Amadou Diallo. There weren't even any women in the room. So that needs to change. And I feel as though for true change to happen, we have to continue to bring awareness, but you have to get in those rooms. The lawmakers, the politicians have to really look and see, okay, what laws are being exercised and what needs to happen to truly protect and serve the community. Because isn't that what the legal system is for? The government is supposed to do, protect the people. So God willing, I feel as though, a change in the system has to be coming. And with that, we'll move on to part two, or the middle section of the book, the essays 25 to 50. God willing, we'll start on page 80 of the book, while rage bubbles in black hearts, and then we'll end on page 129, the meaning of Ferguson. And I'm sure that this book will be even, or this section will have a lot more for us to digest and discuss. And I would love to hear your feedback. It's a very tough read, to be quite honest with you, but it's something that I need to read. That I pray that you read, and that you feel as though you want to do something. And the number one thing is to be a part of the solution, not a part of the problem. Again, Have Black Lives Ever Mattered by Mumia Abu Jamal. Page 80 to page 129 next week. Assalamu alaikum.